Hey yogis, I'm Kelly with Kelly Yoga, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do Chaturanga properly and to build strength to work up to a full Chaturanga. It is a very advanced pose, so don't feel bad if you can't get it right away. No props for this unless you want to grab a mirror, one of those big long mirrors that you can find at Target. You can place it up against the wall so you can check out your alignment while we do it. Alright, let's get started. So to start, you always want your shoulders on the back and the pelvis tucked. So we're going to lie on our back to kind of focus our attention in that pelvic region, so you can kind of feel how it's going to be once we actually get up into plank and chaturanga. So go ahead and lie on your back. You can extend the legs out as they would be in plank pose and bring the hands above the shoulders. And now really think of rolling the shoulders back and down, pushing the shoulder blades into the ground, and then tucking that pelvis under so you almost get rid of that gap in the low back. So if you're here, you want to tuck the ribs in, tuck the pelvis under, and get rid of that gap in the low back. So just practice this for a little bit. You can really arch the back, go from one extreme to the other. So we really arch the back, and we pull the ribs in, tuck the pelvis under, and engage the abdominals. And release and sway the back, and then tuck the ribs in, tuck the pelvis under. Engage the abdominals. Excellent. So that's a nice little exercise to do just to get your focus and your attention into that region. It's kind of tough to do when you're actually on your hands in plank. So to start, I usually tell beginners to go onto their knees when they do chaturanga initially. It takes a lot of arm strength, more so than the abdominals, I would say, as you're working your way up to it. So to start, you want your hands to be under your shoulders. Knees can be back from the hips a little bit. So if you were to go into full plank and hold, tucking the pelvis under, shoulders are on the back. If this is tough, come to the knees. If you're on the knees, if this is your first time ever doing chaturanga or you're new to it, I suggest knees. And what you're going to do is you're going to start to bend the elbows back, squeezing and rotating the elbows in towards the body, leading with the shoulders till you hit that 90-degree angle in the arms, and then push back up. So my back is flat the whole time. As I'm going down, I'm not going to drop into the hips, I'm not going to arch into the back. Think of it as if someone had a tray of food on your back and you want to keep all the food there. So again, hands are under your shoulders, knees are a little bit back from the hips. Start to lead with the shoulders coming down. Hit that 90-degree mark, hold, and push up. Good. If you want to, you can grab a strap or like a belt and put it around the upper arm to help keep the elbows pulling in. That's usually the toughest part that I see beginners have trouble with, is elbows in, elbows in. But if you have the mirror and you can watch yourself in the mirror, then you can kind of see where your alignment issue should be. So if you notice that you're going down like this in the hips, called the yoga worm, you want to be tucking the pelvis, drawing the ribs in more. So that's what you want to focus on. Okay, so let's do it a couple more times. Bend the elbows down, leading with the shoulders, hit that 90-degree mark, and push up. Good, let's do it 2 more times. Come on down, and push up. Last time. Coming down, and push up. Good, you can release back into child's pose. So that 90-degree angle in the elbows is typically the hardest part of chaturanga to hold. And that's why I say to go down and hold there, and you should feel your arms start to burn. Next exercise that you can do to build strength here, you'll stay on the knees. And as you start to bend down, once you hit that 90-degree mark, lift the knees up and hold. And then come down. So it makes it a little tougher because you're getting rid of that extra support. So once you feel good with doing the Chaturanga Pushups, as I call them, then I suggest lifting the knees and holding. Just see how long you can hold with the knees off the ground in Chaturanga. Obviously, the longer you hold, the more strength you'll build. So once you feel good with all that, you can come on up to full plank and you push forward. So I'm almost on the balls, or the tops of my toes here. And then I start to drop down, elbow squeeze in, hold, and release down. Cobra. Good. Push back into child's pose. We'll go through that a couple more times just so you can feel the motion. Again, always watch yourself in the mirror or record yourself so you can kind of see where you're at now and maybe use it as a progress video later. Alright, 2 more times. Full plank Chaturanga. So I'm in plank, shoulders are on the back, tucking my pelvis under. I push forward, bend the elbows down, hold Chaturanga, drop down Cobra. Good, child's pose. As always, if you need the knees, if you're not comfortable going up to the full Chaturanga, always use the knees until you can get the alignment right. My teacher training was based in alignment, so that's what's most important. And I want you guys to do it right instead of just flowing through it thinking you got it. So, one more time. Come on up into plank. Again, you can meet on the knees here. Otherwise, you're up. Shoulders are on the back, tucking the pelvis. I'm not dropping here. Lifting the hips up. Push forward. Drop down. Hold. And release. Up into Cobra, inhale, and exhale, child's pose.